He's an Elite Series rookie from Oklahoma, John Soka.
They're generating enough electricity for 23,000 homes right now.
Yeah, I don't know what that
That's a lot of homes.
Welcome to Lay Lake, event number 5. Event number 5. Beautiful Lay Lake. We somehow lucked out. We got this Airbnb. Look at this scene, man. We got the lake right here. Boat going across. Nice deck. Bradley's in here cooking burgers, getting ready. We got our boats backed in, rods ready to go. Everything's strapped, and really just relaxing tonight and getting ready. Come follow me. I'll take you through the tour of the house. Sometimes we don't have much to look at, but this house is beautiful inside. Got nice furniture, big screen TV. I'm probably watching some basketball, NBA going on. We're all in love with this big old table. It's gotta be like 10 or 12 foot long. Obviously, kitchen. Looks like they renovated this place. Maybe built in the 60s or 70s, and they got it looking nice. I luck out because I guess sometimes Bradley just decides to give me the master, so I got the master here. This is my room for the week. Big enough for the family to be here. Got my own bathroom. The one downside of this, today we're smiling because the tournament hasn't started yet. We've had some time to rest. I guarantee you, before this is over, we're gonna hear Bradley going through Bradley Hallman Rage. If you guys never heard about Bradley Hallman Rage, it's real. It lasts for about 15, 30 minutes and then it goes away. This driveway right here extends out, I mean, it's got to go an 1/8 mile, and it's about as wide as your truck is. We're going to get a video. We're going to shoot this thing up and maybe do a drone footage or something to show everybody how we got backed in. But Bradley and I somehow got backed in, and we're parked right here. So this is where I'll spend most of my time. Truth be told, sitting out here, sitting in the boat, tinkering with tackle, whether I'm catching them or I'm not. This is just where I love to spend time. I like to think about every rod that I'm touching. In my mind, I go through kind of mental preparation, what I'd be using that lure for, what situation. And somehow I feel like it helps me get in tune with the fish. I don't even know how to explain it, but I know that when I don't do it, I don't feel attached to the fish. So I do it. It's something I do, mental preparation. I'll give you a little peek at my rods. I've got it narrowed down. To just one of these right here. One of these, I think there's over 30 rods in here. So one of those is gonna be a fish catching dude, hopefully by the end of the week. But that's it, man. It's a beautiful evening. We got the grill going. Calm, peaceful, serene. It's really nice. That's what we're gonna focus on this week as well, is enjoying ourselves, having fun, enjoying the experience, and bringing the fun back into fishing. And it seems like when you're having fun with fishing, your weights go up, and then you have more fun because you cash bigger checks and get bigger points. So we'll see you tomorrow, day 1 practice. Hey, lake practice day 1. And I haven't woke up yet, so ready to go have some fun though. Ready to catch some fish for a change. We'll see. I think practice starts at 5:30. It's about 5 o'clock right now. I can't just leave because we are packed in here like Tetris blocks. So Bradley's got to get up and get out of here first, and then we're on our way. So we will see. It's supposed to rain. It was gonna rain. Then it wasn't gonna rain. Now it's supposed to rain again. So we'll get sprinkled on today. No big deal. First fish annihilated the full-size plopper. It's a 13-inch Kentucky. Oh, that was an awesome bite. What a fun bite. so much timber out here, so much more than what I thought. I had no idea. Decided to really not study too much on this event because it hasn't done me any good. So, going after this one line. Second little spot of the morning, another little 1-pounder. Pulled up to this point to actually frog the grass. An old spotty was hanging out, just hanging out there. Little 1-pounder.
Finagling parking, and it is the most finagling you have ever seen. I mean, we're turning this thing around in a closet. 2 trucks. He's a bull in a china closet. I saw him yesterday doing it, and he don't care. He run over some stuff.
How many is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then one over there, 17. 17 rods. The day ended okay though. I got a couple good bites at the end of the day. I might have figured something out. I mean, I figured something out to get big bites, but I don't know how many in a day I can get. So, that's some positive news. Here's the thing about practice. Elimination is just as important as catching. There's plenty of good practices where I've caught the crap out of them and I eliminated nothing, and then tournament time, it's horrible.
I'm glad you're positive.
Well, it helps. I caught another good one.
Got another 4-pounder.
Yeah, I thought it was a spot. But here's the thing I can't figure out. If they don't eat it before it hits the ground, they won't eat it. They won't pick it up off the bottom of my head. But I've tried to throw a drop shot at these same fish, and they won't even follow it down. I'm wondering about like powered drop shotting a freaking 10-inch worm. So they follow it down, and then it stops up. I don't know.
You said that some of them are 3 foot deep.
They're 3 foot down in 12-foot water.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Spook?
I know. I was thinking spook too.
That would be my suggestion.
There's bait everywhere, so I think you could probably spook the snot out of them in the morning.
Big spook, slow, call them up. They make them up out of those trees and kill it.
Dude, freshman, I don't think I was grabbing the rim at my freshman year.
It may not be a 10-foot goal.
No, that's... Need more of those. 5 of those. I need 20 of those, man. Sandwich time. What to sleep in my eye this morning. My thoughts for day 1 were that it was a pretty tough day to just get. I got a couple bites, but they weren't the ones that you want to run with, and I ran with them for a little bit. Burned some time in practice doing it, and kind of regrouped at the end of the day. Went back out and just tried to do some things that I thought would create some bigger bites, and I got them. I got 2 of them in about a 3-hour time period, messing around with that timber. And so my thoughts today are, let's build upon it. I know at some point I need to unlock that grass. I haven't been able to unlock the grass. I love the grass. I just haven't been able to unlock it at all. So I think I want to build off this timber for quite a bit, at least 5 or 6 hours. And we get long practice days, so at least 5 or 6 hours on this timber. I was throwing a big worm, heavy line, So I think I'm gonna go out there early morning. I'm gonna spook a little bit, keep the big worm on. They were not paying attention to the drop shot, so I'm gonna do something like do an old chicken rig kind of thing on them that I can use a little bit bigger worm to get their attention. The problem is they follow it down. If they don't grab it before it falls, they turn around and they leave. And some of these may be a lot of big spots. So I don't know if maybe that 10-inch worm is just a little too big for them. Obviously, when I do get bit, they're 4-pounders. So that's good news. But I need to try to add a few more bites to the boat. So if I can go out there today, do this timber thing, end up finding a pattern and getting 1 or 2 bites an hour, that's going to give me a lot of confidence already going in the tournament that I've kind of found something that the fish are coming to. It seemed like all year I've been kind of behind where the fish are coming to, and I've been chasing them. And it'd be kind of nice to get ahead of them for once and getting some. The thing about that timber is not a lot of the guys are going to mess with it the same way I am. It's annoying. You're getting the boat hung up all the time. And I'm in an aluminum boat, so I can pull it off real easy. I can't even imagine how frustrating it'd be in a fiberglass boat to just constantly go from stump to stump to stump and just get hung up. So that's a problem. Plus, it's a big, massive area out there. There's a lot of timber, so you potentially could have fresher fish. I will say this: I'm casting at fish all day long, but it's a bunch of junk fish. There is a ton of junk fish, trash fish, carp, gar, bunches of big crappie. If you're a crappie fisherman, Lake Lake's got the crappie, so it seems like it's a rare thing for me to come across some bass. And I really can't figure out exactly what they look like on live scope in comparison to some of these trash fish. So when they're hiding behind trees and stuff like that, you just kind of see a glimpse of a fish, and you don't really know what it is unless it's a gar. I can kind of tell a gar, but that's that. Also probably some channel cat out there too. So that's my thoughts for day one and what I'm gonna try to build up on day two. And if it's it's working or not working, at some point, like I said, we got to go unlock that grass, and we'll go look at it at some point between day 2 and day 3 practice. Morning so far, we have spooked. We've ran some spinnerbaits in some grass and looked at some timber. I'm still loving the timber thing, guys. So that's what right now I'm going to rig a couple things up. Some lighter weights. See if a slower fall works. This morning there's a lot of baits. I think there's a lot of fish looking up. It's fine. When the sun gets out, get a little brighter, they might hug tighter those trees. And have a little bit more visibility on that worm falling, so maybe it needs to be a little bit quicker. I don't know. I got a whale of a fish. I thought I was hung on a freaking rock. I don't know what I got. Catfish and a catfish. Oh my goodness. Not even hooked in the mouth. He's lassoed. Probably because he rolled. He's probably foul hooked and he rolled. There she is. I'm gonna say 12 pounder, maybe 15, full of eggs, full of fight. I'm gonna put her back, let her go breed. Ah.
I just left mine there. It's easier than moving it.
Yeah. It works. Found a pocket that was similar to the one where I found them all in.
Mm-hmm. Just more bites?
Yeah, I caught like 5 real quick, and I had found 4 or 5 more on the beds. I got dots everywhere.
Yeah. I came down here and found some more too. I don't know that I could have caught 4 or 5, but I mean, I definitely had some bites.
I was just stinking wacky rigging that grass.
Yeah.
Caught one on a deep wall, you know, where there's no way they're bedding, and a couple of them I caught where it looked like maybe they were guarding something. Or the one was still full of eggs. I did see a 3 pounder. I did mark a 3 pounder on the bed.
I didn't see a 3.
And then I saw one that was so active that I had like parked the boat on it and it's turning circles on my trolling motor.
Is there more spawning now than there was when we got here, you think?
I don't know. I'd have to go to the pockets where I saw them. So I don't know. I mean, I found 2 3 pounders today. I had 2 3 pounders day 1 found. There is a part of me, and I don't know if it's the right part, but there's just a part of me that says, just look all day tomorrow.
You know, I have that same thing too. And you know, I've told you the last 2 events, I'm like, I wish I just looked every day.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about tomorrow morning. I want to go up and see if I can find a shack, go further up, go up past takeoff. Because if I can find that, then all of a sudden fishing becomes easy. You know what I mean? You catch 14, 15 pounds in the first hour.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I found some shad spawning.
I'm talking about shad spawning with bass eating.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem. You know those just mile marker poles out in the middle of the lake? Shad spawning on those poles in the morning. Last day of practice. Prep day. It's hard to prep for something you don't know what you're supposed to be prepping for. I don't got much to say. I'm kind of beat down. Trying to get refreshed and look at this lake with new eyes. Why is that hard to do, Brad? Have you been somewhere for a couple days?
I don't know. I feel like an old kid pup. That's underneath the car hiding.
I mean, it is calm, and foggy this morning. I hope we don't run into this in tournament days. Whew. Man, it feels top watery. We got into a top water for the first hour or two. It was some fun that way. Need to run into some big fish. Catch the crap out of 2 pounders. The 2 bigger fish that I've caught have been very hard to duplicate, so. You know, last day of practice, haven't had a good season. You know, I'm juggling between, do I go find more 2 pounders and just so I have them, or do I spend the last day swinging for these bigger fish? And I'm not sure the way that I'm catching the 2 pounders isn't the way you catch big fish. You just got to find a different area. So, I'm gonna go out there and let the jet tell us what to do. Starting day 3 practice, I had about 20 rods in the front deck, and I did not like the way I felt. I've been putting a couple little things together, nothing special at all, and needed to get some fuel. It was as foggy as can be this morning, so I went and ran, got some fuel, came back to the ramp, it was still foggy, so I got a few of my rods rigged, some things that I thought that I needed that I didn't have in the boat, including a little swim bait and some things like that, jig, swim bait. And started out graphing, found me a school of spots on the swim bait, big school. The only fish I caught in there, the biggest one I caught was 2 1/4. So, but I caught pretty easy. I caught them pretty easy, so I feel like I can catch a limit there. Then I went around looking for some more beds when the sun came out, and really haven't found much anything. I'm not just trying to kind of build off of some areas where I already had some fish found, and took a wacky rig with the hook cut, because I do that a lot of times when I'm bed fishing. I'll cut the hook off and stuff so I don't hook these fish. There's a little guy. And had a couple fish in the timber grab a hold and pull me down pretty good. So I'm kind of excited here. Before the end of the day, we're going to get back in the timber. We're going to fish with a good sharp hook and see if some of my 10-inch worm. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Big in 1 1/4 pounder spot. Put her back. So there you go. We're gonna go to some bigger, deeper timber trees now, and we're gonna do this for a minute, see if there's not some bigger spots to be had. Atlantis, Malatosis, Malactus Malactus. Oh, frog, maybe. Camera photo. Has it got a turtle inside of him or something? Look, feel this. It's got something weird shell. Feel this side especially. I think you ate a turtle. What do you think this is? 5.5, 6? He's a 5.55. Go back to your tree, bro. Go back to your tree. I came in here day 1 of practice, I think. At the end of the day, took a big old 10-inch worm and was pitching these trees, and I caught a 4. And there's some trees down yonder, and I caught another 4-pound spot. And I've been having problems repeating that other places. So I came back in here after I've proven that they'll eat my little wacky rig on the trees. And I was testing these trees out to see if this is something that, you know, maybe is a good spot or something for the tournament, or how to get a big bite. And we roll over to this tree. It's got like a little brush pile or something on it. And I thought they were a big old crappie because I've been getting fooled by this crappie. And out of nowhere, that slaunch of a bass spinning rod. If only it was tournament day. We're gonna look around these trees a little bit more. We're probably gonna put the bad hook back on now and go to shaking some fish off, maybe build some confidence in how many bites we can get. So we're pulling off our main road here. We got 0.3 miles to get back to our house, but this is the tightest road that I've ever been on. I've been on a couple that were pretty sketchy, but this one, the way it ends, I mean, we have 2 inches at one point of falling off basically a ledge, or 2 inches of rubbing up against a brick wall on the other side. And then to get turned around, we've had to do all sorts of stuff to get turned around.
My favorite thing, land bed, eat them. That's world-class champion stuff right there. And if all else fails, you can always wacky worm it on your hook.
It's artificial.
I don't know. I mean, I just went and looked, you know, all day, and I didn't back out. And there were times where I was like, there's nothing up here. Mm-hmm. They're done. And then I keep going. Because, I mean, I've been looking for 3 days.
Right.
And then I go, and then I see a couple. And then I see, you know, a decent one, like a 3-pounder.
Well, I got the swim bait deal on that hole where I can catch a limit. I told Travis, I think it's like a 90% chance that they're there and I can catch 10 pounds doing it. I don't know what the chance is that there's a 3-pounder, 4-pounder that shows up there. I don't know, because I only set the hook twice. But there's 100 fish there. I did idle over them later in the day to try to locate them to see where they moved to when the sun goes, and I couldn't graph them. But I think they may just hug the bottom so tight in 30 foot of water. Sometimes it's hard to see. I decided, hey, I'm gonna no. When I saw you, the reason why I went over there, this is the reason why. This is pretty cool. So I was sight fishing all down that other stuff outside those pockets. I was seeing what other fish are around. I was looking. Not seeing much anything. Marked a couple, but they're just not down everywhere. And then I scanned out in the timber, and it looked like some fish on the timber, and I had that wacky rig on. So I threw at them. I thought they were done crappie. The same ones that I've been pitching that 10-inch worm to, that they'd follow down and not eat it, you know. And so I pitched that wacky rig, and it goes, donk, but I had my hook cut off.
Yeah, I've done the same thing on some docks.
And I was like, well, dadgum, was that a crappie that ate it? So I pitched again, and it goes, donk, and swims off and shake it off. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, you know what, man, it's just, I need to know whether I can pick up that wacky rig and hit timber with it. You know, whether they'll react the same. So I went over there, and that's why I went straight to 2 trees where I knew that they were at. One group, I mean, right next to each other, huh, Travis? Like, full of crappie, looked almost identical. The tree over, a little bit different, fewer fish, a little bit bigger size. Threw that wacky rig over there, boom, caught one. Not a big one, 1.5 pounder, Kentucky, right? But it gives me the confidence that, hey, this wacky rig thing on these trees can do it. Now you're going to cast at a bunch of crappie all day long doing it. So I ran my way up, and you know where I caught the 4 pounders, and they want to practice. So I went in there, and I got there, like I said, maybe 2:45. Fished a couple things around. There was a couple boats in there. I kind of waited for them to kind of mosey on out before I kind of went into the good stuff, dude. I wasn't in there. Was I in there 5 minutes, Travis? 10 minutes, maybe?
Maybe 15 at the max.
Boom, 5.5 pounder. Put her in the boat, weighed her, everything.
Today.
Put her back, cut the hook off, put the cutoff hook back on, retied. We celebrated a little bit, you know what I mean? Stood up, next tree, and I'd floated probably. Oh, dude, get this. While I'm floating, my Cinco's in the water, and all of a sudden my rod starts taking off. Something grabbed my Cinco, just floating the side of the boat, so we were cracking kind of some jokes. But so I'd floated back because I retied, and you know, I floated probably 100 feet away from that tree that one was at. Next cast, dunk, shook it off. It was a good one too. Then I fished up a little bit longer, maybe, I don't even know, 20 more yards, or I don't even know if it was that far. And here comes another one, dunk. I barely got that one even with the cut hook. And it was a good one because it pulled drag before it let go. Practice recap. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's always that way. It better not always just be monstrously good, because then it seems like it changes, and then when it's really, really only bad, it seems like it's a bad problem. So, you know, you need a little bit of everything, because you need to find fish and you need to eliminate fish. And sometimes it's best when you really only have your eyes set on 1 or 2 things. And that's really what we've tuned into. We've tuned into 3 main patterns that I can catch fish, one of which is the only one that I feel like I can confidently catch big fish. So I'm nervous to just go out and all day long only do that. I feel like it's a 50-50 thing for me, even though when I did it today, it was the right time. I had 3 big bites in less than an hour. So I know it can happen. The 3 things that I've got going, I got a deep school of Kentucky's found, swim baiting them. They're 20 to 30 foot deep. I feel like that's a 90% chance that those fish are going to be exactly where I found them, and we'll be back there, and I can come down and catch them. I have 9 to 11 pounds, some so-called a 10-pound pattern. I'm debating, we'll see, I'm debating about starting there tomorrow and just putting those fish in the boat. I have to go about 20 minutes beyond, so 10 minutes beyond and 10 minutes back beyond where my bigger fish are at, so I'd run by my bigger fish to do this, but I could work my way back up the lake. The second pattern is a wacky rig in and around the bedding fish. So some of them are fry garters, some of them you don't see, you kind of blind cast to, and others are directly on a bed. And I'm just wrapping that all in one pattern because it's all in the back of little pockets and stuff. And I've got some bedfish found, and so, you know, that is a 10 to 12 pound pattern, and I think those are 95% chance they're there to stay. Now, the problem is, can somebody beat me to them and beat them up during practice and beat them up during the tournament? 100%. If I can see them, then other people can see them. So, you know, that is really kind of a backup deal. I did find one pretty good one yesterday, about a 3.5 pounder on a bed, and it would be on my way down lake. And since I got boat 96 and I probably won't beat anybody at any spot, I think I may that might be my first stop. I'm just going to peel off, go see if that fish is there, see if I can catch him. May take me 30 minutes, may take me an hour to catch him, but it's a decent one to put in the boat first. Then ideally, potentially come down, fill out a limit with the spots, all 2-pounders, and then just go straight to the main big fish pattern, which is the timber, the standing timber. I'm finding post spawners that are setting up and staging post spawn, relaxing, recovering from their spawn. Deeper, stronger timber in what else would be just shallow spawning flats. It doesn't have to be real deep, but anything that's deeper than the spawning flat itself feels like I've got some bigger fish found. I've also got some timber that's more main lake. I fished a lot of that during practice and not all of it produced. So that is the, that is the unknown. If I end up having a really good day early on, I'll be able to expand on it because I'll put that 10-inch worm in my hand and I'll go in that timber and I'll fish around and look for bigger fish, especially the Kentuckys. The bigger Kentuckys I think are going to live more main lake. But listen, in practice I caught 2 4-pounders, a 5.5 pounder, and I shook off 2 today that felt solid. I'm going to call them 4+ pounders, and those bites all came in the timber. So I think it might have been Boyd Duckett. I think he made a statement one time in a podcast or whatever. The way that you win tournaments is you go do what you got your biggest bite in practice, and that's all you do the whole time. Maybe that's this case here. That is what I did to get the biggest bite. But I do fish a lot more comfortable with the live well full. So that's where if you see me spin off and go catch a bunch of Kentuckys or go sight fish a little bit, it's so that I get the live well padded and I can stay in that timber without the stress and concern of I'm not getting bit. Because I think I can get in that timber and maybe go a couple hours, 3 hours without getting bit. And then it's going to boom, boom, boom when the window turns on. So that's the wrap up, the good, the bad, the ugly. 3 days long practice. We still got all the tackle we have to do, and it's 5 o'clock at night. So we'll be doing tackle probably till 8 o'clock, till the sun goes down. Bradley's not in yet. I called him, he didn't answer, which is not really a good sign, but it's also a good sign that he's really focused, and he'll come in. Hopefully he's unlocked something himself, and we can turn this train around and have some good finishes on the elites for a change. All right, next time you see me, guys, it will be day 1. We'll see you tomorrow.